Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to first of all thank you for the opportunity to be here today. If you see European Union flag, you might think, my gosh, there is another bureaucrat today. He's going to talk about, minimum size of bananas which can be sold in EU. Unfortunately, we can talk about that later during welcome party. By the way, I know probably most of you know by heart regulation number 2257 from 16 September 1994, which is really setting minimal size of banana which can be sold in EU. Yes? So there is regulation like that. But we will be talking about more important things today than bananas. We'll be talking about internal security. We'll be talking about challenges which we are facing today as Europe and how my agency, Frontex, helps member states of the European Union to tackle those challenges and threats. So first, what is Frontex? European Agency for the Management of Operational Cooperation at the External Borders of Member States of the European Union. That's a long name. Don't try to memorize that. It took me 2 years to do so. What you have to remember, however, that Frontex means external borders. It came from French. So if you remember Frontex name, you should always associate that with external borders. So what we do as Frontex, because even if you would read this name 10 times, you would still say, wow, that's a cool name, but what those guys are doing there. So what we do, we try to use smart and state-of-the-art technology to tackle challenges of today's political and economical situation, which is affecting our external borders. One of our main goals is to support member states of the European Union to limit the number of deaf people on high seas. On a daily basis, there are tens of boats with illegal migrants trying to reach Europe from Libya to Italy, for instance. On a weekly basis, we are talking about 2,000–3,000 of illegal migrants which are found by our means, meaning member state means with support of Frontex, on open sea. So those are just the numbers we know about. We can just guess that there are thousands of others who are never found. So one of our primary political goals is to make sure that we can support member states with a state-of-the-art technology to limit the number of deaf bodies on the high seas, including kids like that. But that's a nice part of our job, let me say like that, because saving human lives is fantastic stuff. But there is also a dark side of border management. We are talking about those guys. They are trying more and more to hide in the groups of illegal migrants and reach European Union, trying to create impression that they are just normal, irregular or illegal migrants. Yes? That's one of the biggest threats we have right now. 2 days ago, I got reports saying that we have more and more cases, more and more people from ISIS identified in those streams of illegal migrants, which we have to apprehend. And the newest threat, Ebola virus. You will see later in my presentation that migrants trying to reach Europe on small boats, that's a perfect environment. If there is one person on board infected with Ebola, entire boat can be infected. And you can imagine what can happen if that boat will land on one of our shores in Italy or Greece. So those are three main areas where Frontex is trying to support member states. We do not do that ourselves as agency. We provide capabilities to member states. And member states can use those capabilities to do the proper job. And most of those capabilities are smart technology, smart assets, intelligence pictures, risk analysis, one of the biggest part of our job, risk analysis. And of course, if we talk about state-of-the-art and smart technologies, I hope you understand why I'm here, yes? Because Esri is one of the leader in state-of-the-art technologies that can be used for internal security purposes. I will give you an example, one of the things we do first, before we go to really technology and use of GIS capabilities. On 15th of September 2014, one of our satellites detected small objects on the high sea. on Mediterranean Sea. Immediately, French Navy vessel, which was in the area under joint operation sponsored by Frontex, was sent to the area of detection. A few hours later, small boat like that was apprehended. Those people, on this small boat, we had 38 migrants, including 27 men, 8 women, and 3 children. They were on the water for 3 days and 3 nights, without any food, without any water. Most of them were already in critical conditions. That's the typical cases we are dealing with. As I said, we are talking about 10, 15 boats like that per day, spread through entire Mediterranean Sea. So you see what kind of technology we are trying to use to detect those boats and and let them reach their destination, whatever this destination is, if it's Italy or other country. One of our goals is to make them safely to arrive to those places. But you can imagine if you would stay for 3 nights and 3 days on boat like that, you know, especially kids, yes, what they feel if they think about if they survive the next day. Yes. So from that perspective, they are not anymore illegal migrants. They are human beings that it's our obligation as Europe to support. Of course, later on, there are legal aspects and things like that. When we save them, that's, of course, procedures will start. But the first goal is really to save them. My PR department asked me to give you a couple of slides about where we are located. We are located, our HQ is located in Warsaw, Poland. We have around 300 staff members. At the end of the day, our community is thousands of officers across Europe. All the border management officers, we are trying to support them. Our operational activities, if you think about the external border of European Union, we are there. Again, not Frontex itself, but our capabilities and member states' capabilities. We cooperate with a lot of different entities, all EU member states, Schengen associated countries, all the organizations which are involved in legal migration. We are on working basis with them almost on everyday communication channels. One of the main legal framework that we are using currently to do our job, meaning to save human lives, to limit cross-border crime, and to track as much as possible all those terrorists trying to get into European Union, we use a new legal framework and technical framework called Eurozone, which is a European border surveillance system. Europe already indicated to spend 300 million euro for the next 5 years to develop new capabilities under Eurozone framework. And this framework is and will be the main tool for Europe to improve situational awareness, to increase reaction capability at the external borders for 3 main goals. Save as many people as possible, find out all criminals and terrorists trying to reach European Union borders, and I said already saving lives, yes, that's the most important one. So what is Eurozone? Maintain complete and coherent situational picture, early notifications and predictions, support decision-making processes, and resource optimization. So that's the 4 goals of the Eurozone. And of course, when we talk about situational pictures, common operational picture, situational awareness, I cannot imagine today operational center without GIS. There's nothing like that anymore. I mean, there's nothing like that, and you know that the best, yes? So, we decided a couple of years ago to invest in GIS capabilities. Today we call it Frontex Core GIS. The main engine of Frontex Core GIS is based, of course, on your products. How it looks like, I believe we have version 10.1 right now. Yes, Alex, correct me if I'm wrong. Yes, 10.1. It's a geodatabase, so a little, if I remember, Jack, your presentation, we are a little behind, yes, because you were talking about, new things. ArcGIS server, portal for ArcGIS, service catalog with different services that we deliver to our customers. First, what you will see right now are some of our data sources. Yes? So we are using satellites. We are using internal data systems. We are using ship reporting systems. We are using every single data which is available to create European situational picture, to have as near as possible to real time picture what's going on, not only at our external borders, but also in pre-frontier areas. So we want to see what is coming to our borders. Not only what is already at the borders, but what is coming. And in our interest, we are mostly interested in green border, meaning not border crossing points, but what is between, or for instance, open sea. Yes? So we have diverse data sources, and to be honest, we are not limited in data sources. Basically, on daily basis, we are looking for new data sources from different providers. There's no limits there. I would say sky is the limit. Our platform is ready to support all data formats, all data sources that are available there. So it's just a matter of finding them. We do our magic, of course, with our GIS capabilities, and we provide web-based services to our customers. Basically, our user, the only thing that she or he needs is a web browser. Most of our users don't even know what is GIS. They are not IT people. They want to have a platform, web-based system, which they can run with a finger. That was our main requirement, and we built a system like that, where GIS is the main component of it, as you see in the middle. We have two main areas at Frontex where we use GIS capabilities. One area is risk analysis, mid-term and long-term risk analysis. So that's a result, simple result of this job. That's a final product showing current trends in our external borders. I would like to point your attention to this 40,000 number. We see increase almost 300% in numbers of people trying to get from Libya to Italy. Yes, we are talking about thousands of people using only this route. If you combine all those numbers together, we will talk about at least 200,000 migrants trying each year to get to Europe using green border. Green means also as open sea routes. Yes? And keep in mind, we are talking only about those which we detected. We don't know how many of them basically died on open sea, because there's no way we can know that. Yes? We can only predict those things. So one area is risk analysis. That's a big, huge part of Frontex job. We have a huge unit. I have also here a representative of risk analysis, Katarina. If there will be questions later on during, Katarina, where are you? Here. She's one of the best GIS experts I have ever met. So she's really Esri. I believe she also came from Esri, Portugal. Yes. So that's your man in our premises right now. But the second big area that we are responsible for is situational monitoring, yes, and situational awareness. And I would like to show you, I have still like a couple of minutes, real system. So I will show you a real situational picture which is used by thousands of officers across Europe to see what's going on at external borders. So that's our main platform. Of course, we have here basic GIS capabilities, like we can decide which base map we want to use. I will not show you that because probably that's a basic stuff for you. Yes? But one of the requirements I set for us was to develop a system that operator needs only finger, nothing else. So we decided to build in a couple of different frameworks, technological frameworks, to achieve that goal. Yes? So right now, what I will do, and usually what our users do with fingers on touch screens or tablets, they just drag and drop different data sets on the screen. So in this particular case, I will drag and drop a data from one of our joint operations, which we are right now conducting in the coast of Libya. So that's a kind of, I will put that in normal incidents points. So those are all incidents, meaning all the green points you see are basically places where there were small boats detected and apprehended. Yes? So we can check one by one. Here we had 74 migrants. You can see it on the bottom, this incident. This one we had 187 migrants on one single boat. You can imagine we are talking about small boats, 10 meters, 12 meters. 315 on one boat, yes? 416. And we can go like that because we have thousands of those incidents per year, yes? So what you see really is the recent ones. We can go directly from that to each incident itself. Yes. So that's one of the functionality, and we can go to dataset which is behind to see details about the incidents. I will not go into that because it's not about GIS anymore. What another thing we have here, as you see, we have a lot of different layers with information. I cannot show you most of them because that's operational data which we don't distribute to public audience, let's say like that. But I can show you at least a few of them. So we have, for instance, a full picture about all commercial and fishing vessels right now on open sea. We are using diverse group of reporting systems, AIS, satellite AIS, LRIT, long-range identification and traffic, VMS for fishing vessels, even positioning of some pleasure boats. Yes? So everything what has transponder on it, we can see it here. And I will tell you in 2 minutes why it's so important for us and for our operators. Another thing what we try to do, we try to provide to our users detailed models of the weather on the sea. Yes? It's extremely important for our officers to know how the weather will change on the sea. Yes? I will tell you why. Because if we have detection, let's imagine in that point here, it takes a couple of hours to get to this point. It's not like in movies that, immediately there is a helicopter there and, everybody is safe. It takes 7–10 hours. So we need to know how the conditions will change there. What will be the size of the waves? Because if our officer will see that the size of the waves will increase dramatically during the next hours, there might be decision to use completely different assets. For instance, helicopters, which can be faster than normal boats. I will show you how those model looks like and how GIS made it possible to visualize that in a really user-friendly way. I will focus on one of them. I will not go into all of them. I will focus on wave size. So basically, our officer can zoom in the area where he is interested or she is interested. And you see right now, today at 6 o'clock, the size of waves here in this area is 2 meters. But officer can play and see how the situation will change during the next hours. On the screen, you will see it right now. So that's how this will change. Situation at 9 o'clock p.m., midnight, etc., etc. We provide this modeling for 72 hours. Yes? So then officer can see, okay, in 2 hours from now or 7 hours from now, the size of waves will be 3 meters, which you can imagine small boat, like I showed you in one of the pictures, will not survive more than 2 minutes with waves of 3 meters. For most of us who are not maritime experts, we cannot imagine what is 3 meters wave size. It's basically for 20 meters boats, it's already a risk to go. Yes? But if we talk about 7 meters boat and people sitting on those boats, like you saw on the picture, those people will not survive. So having this model, our operator can immediately do 2 things at least. First, he or she can check what are the nearest commercial vessels in the area. Yes? And why it's important? Because we also provide contact details to those vessels. So operator can take a phone and say, guys, could you check on your radar what you see there? Yes? If the commercial ship can confirm that, yes, indeed, there is an object there, we start a search and rescue operation. In this case, commercial vessel can be ordered to go there and check what's going on there. Yes? That's the first thing that operator can do. Second thing, having this kind of information, meaning models of the weather, operator can immediately see, as I said, how the conditions will change, how much time we have. We also provide modeling of how long people can survive in the water. Yes, it's based on of course, on the weather conditions. We also provide a simulation where the boat can end up. We take into account, we have models which are using currents, temperature of the sea, everything, to predict where a certain size of the boat with certain engine capabilities can be. Yes? So, because as you can imagine, from detection to apprehension is a couple of hours. We need to kind of try to predict where this boat can pop up. And we use that capability in the case that I presented you at the beginning. Basically, we knew that this French Navy vessel will arrive to the area of detection in 7 hours. So we calculated where this boat will be in 7 hours. And it was exactly in the point that we calculated. Yes. As I said, we have many things here. Unfortunately, 30 minutes is not enough to even talk about 10%. And keep in mind, I present you today only a part related to situational awareness. Situational picture, real to near time. That's, let's say, 40% of our job. 60% is risk analysis, where our colleagues from risk analysis unit are using extensively GIS platform, Esri GIS platform, to predict how the situation will change in the future, what are the new trends, and visualize that. They try to do a visualization for decision-making folks, basically to let them see in easy-to-understand way how the situation will change. And it's all on the maps, on web maps, on portals. And I think that that's a successful example how this GIS can support, first, that we can feel a little safer here, and secondly, that we can save some human beings. And I would like to thank you guys from Esri, most of you probably, because you can say yes, because of your job, you saved those people. Those faces of those kids, you know, probably, maybe not those, because I don't, fortunately, can present you the real pictures of kids we saved because of some legal aspects. But you can say yes, you contributed to this process, yes. So that's a big thank you from us, from our government to you. Thank you.